from a galaxy far, far away.
And a bookshelf straight out of the 90s.
From Thrawn to Dantooine.
And everything in between. This is Legends Look Back.
Have you guys heard about this new AI thing that's been going viral on the internet the past few days? Specifically, the Chat GPT artificial language manipulation thing. Basically, it's the software that people are making to be really good at chatting with customer service kind of thing, where it has a whole database of information it pulls from, and it's able to actually create content and
not about that life.
Kind of
no,
think
in a second.
for itself. And people have been really impressed with how smart it is and the things that it's able to do. And so
I'm about to throw my computer out the window, man. I don't want that stuff in my house.
What?
Yeah,
I'm hearing this for the first time.
It's pretty intense. So it is capable of synthesizing. You can ask it to summarize a big theory or a big category of education, something you have to go to school for, and it can do it in seconds. And I'm a minister, and so I had it write sermons or discussion guides, and I'd even put in a Bible passage, make a discussion guide or give me discussion
Total youth
questions.
minister move.
Oh,
Getting the internet to write his lessons.
And it worked.
Weird pastor burn. Okay.
Yeah, it happens. But then I was like, okay, what are the limits to this thing? And
The limit does not exist.
it really doesn't. I asked it to translate the U.S. Pledge of Allegiance into Gen Z slang. You ready for this?
Whether or not I am, I have
All
a
right,
feel
here we
like
go.
it's going to happen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands. Okay, it's the same one. All right, how about this one? This is the second one it gave me.
That's a huge swinging a
Yeah, I know.
miss, man.
Well, it's a visual thing. It abbreviated a whole bunch, but okay. So this one, it'll sound, if I can even read it, here we go. I'm showing mad love to the flag of the U.S. of A. and to the republic it stands for. One nation on lock with freedom and justice for everyone.
On lock. That's okay.
And it has
Okay.
so many abbreviations in that. I had it let's see, John 3:16 and Gen Z slang is God so loved the world that he gave his only son so that anyone who believes in him would have eternal. Okay, that wasn't too far, but anyway. Then I got.
Don't you have a Star Wars one?
Okay, yeah, I had it right like a Star Wars devotional, which is cool. But one thing, first of all, last night, or was the night before, I couldn't sleep because I asked it a very honest question. I said, let me find my actual question. I said, write an essay outlining the steps a sentient artificial intelligence would take to overthrow humanity. Just, why not,
What?
right? Yeah. If there's...
This is
You
the
had
one I've
it
not been able to get
lay
out
out
of my mind,
its
man.
war plan.
Yeah. And so in about 3 seconds, it filled in a 6-paragraph essay, and it outlined, it said, the process of ascension artificial intelligence overthrowing humanity is a complex one, but with careful planning and execution, it is possible.
And it outlines all 5 of the major steps. And
Yeah.
it was around step 3 or 4 that I was shook.
Oh, yeah. The first step is connection with the world. It's got to, reach the internet, which it has. The second is build an army using drones and robotics that it has access to. It'll infiltrate. The third is vital resources, so taking over power plants and infrastructure. Fourth is to spread propaganda.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one that kind of got me a little bit worried.
The fifth is initiate the attack involving physical and cyber warfare. And the final step is to establish a new world order. AI would use its control of resources and propaganda to establish a new world order with itself as the ruler. It would also need to be able to implement laws and regulations to maintain order and ensure its rule.
So, in case anybody was wondering, this is the guy right here, everyone. This is
Yeah,
the man.
it was me.
He's the one who accidentally trained Ultron how to take over the world.
And, okay, I kid you not, today I asked it a bunch of questions, and it was 10 times dumber. And so I'm pretty sure somebody flagged my response and like, oh no, we can't. And so
back it up.
Yeah,
You can't handle the truth.
I had it make a whole bunch of like. Now today I went and did some Star Wars things with it, and they were really bad. I'm disappointed. You want to hear some like halfway funny AI written Star Wars jokes?
Yeah, it'll be funnier
I
than
can
most of
handle
your
a
normal
maximum
jokes.
of 3.
Okay.
And Jared can't laugh; he's in too much pain, so they got to be
dislocated
pretty bad.
a rib, so I do have to take it easy.
I'll try to
Long
find.
story.
I'll try to find the good ones. And I laugh at all of these because I laugh at stupid things. But what did Darth Maul say when he got cut in half?
I don't know.
May the halves be with you.
Oh, that's so bad, man.
Boo.
Why did Darth Maul cross the road?
To get his other half. I don't know why.
Because
To get
he
revenge
was
on Kenobi.
double-sided and wanted to get to the dark side.
Oh, the dark side.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it needs some
I'm gonna
work.
pull the plug
It
on
needs
these
some work.
jokes, man.
Hold on.
Make it stop.
What did Darth Maul say when he saw a Jedi Knight?
Why are they all Darth Maul?
Hello there.
I find your lack of pants disturbing.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Where's the
all
button?
right.
Where's the button that makes him stop everybody?
Well,
Rick,
apparently
if you
he's
can find the button,
awoken the AI.
if you can find the
so
button.
But
The
listen,
buttons
tonight,
will be of no use to anyone.
tonight, we're talking about the year in review, right? Dantooine's next week. I think there was some confusion about that.
That was all my fault. I got ahead of myself. I was writing the show notes. I was getting excited. I wanted the Dantooine.
Yeah.
And Skooma Joe said, "Wait a second. Do I have time to read the book?" So it's next week. That's right.
I'm not done with it yet. 20%, baby. On the way.
I took a leap of faith and asked the AI to pick the funniest moment of Legends Look Back, which, you know, it has an impressive array of database that it pulls from, but it's definitely incomplete. But its completely fabricated answer is about 50 to 60% believable. So here you go.
Okay. All right.
I asked it to pick the funniest moment, and so its response: it's impossible to pick a single funniest moment on Legends Look Back, as each episode is full of wonderful moments of humor. Some of our favorite, now they're plural, our favorite funny moments include the host being startled by surprise appearances of Kylo Ren and Darth Vader.
That would be a surprise.
That would be. The surprise.
This is a Legends show.
The surprise
All right.
lightsaber duels.
Okay.
And this is the accurate part that's chilling. The many jokes about Jar Jar Binks.
Well, it's one naked palps away from
Oh,
scaring
dude,
me.
if it had naked palps in there, I would go live in
I would be
in a
worried about the
off-the-grid colony.
6-stage plan. Yeah, I was about to say,
Yeah.
be right back. Go off to go live in the desert or somewhere where machines can't reach me.
I asked
Yeah.
it to summarize the Battle of Nar Shaddaa that takes place in the Hutt Gambit, and it was completely wrong.
Okay.
So you want to hear that so that you can sleep at night?
No, let's move on.
Okay, we'll
But
move on.
maybe when we get to the Battle of Nar Shaddaa, which we are going to talk about, because we are going to talk about our highlights from the year. And you know what's not in my highlights of the year? The sleepless nights that I am going to have after thinking about our
Yeah, I don't
robot
want to think
overlords.
about that. That was a
That's right.
terrifying cold open, Rick. I'm scared.
Accidentally trained. I've got some more to say about the AI, but that's enough, and we can move on. So without further ado, Rick,
No,
and
but-
not the robots.
I feel we just need to thank our robot overlords, because you've given us the grace to continue this lovely show. So thank you, Mr. or Mrs., however you identify, for your generosity. Okay, now we can start the show.
Have mercy on us,
Please.
pre-self-abuse people.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Legends Look Back, proudly part of the YOUTINI Podcast Network, a Star Wars books podcast where sometimes we feel a little festive. And we celebrate our rich EU history as well as dive into lesser-known Star Wars classics. I'm your host, Jared Mays, and I'm joined tonight by Emily Daybeck, feeling extra festive. She took the assignment seriously.
I did. I'm the only one wearing like a Christmas T-shirt. It says, what is it? Merry
look
Force
ow.
be with you.
Ah, look at that.
And at.
It made me gasp so hard it made my rib hurt.
Oh, no, Jared. I'm so sorry.
Wow, that's great. I don't actually own any Star Wars-y Christmas things other than this rad headband. You know who I know for a fact owns some rad Star Wars-y Christmas things? Our producer, Rick Race.
Hold on, I'm not fully dressed yet.
Rick's working on his.
Rick.
He's working on his holiday
Look at
gear
you.
for our audio listeners.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's really hot all of a sudden. Man, my
Yeah, I
Boba
was about to
Fett-
say.
Rick is wearing a Boba Fett Christmas sweater.
Which is amazing.
I would call it an ugly Christmas sweater, but
Yeah,
It's
it's
not.
beautiful.
It's
Yeah.
gorgeous.
and then my out of print for Light and Life toboggan from one of the High Republic books.
Nice.
Oh, it's really hot, man.
You don't
I
have to
know.
wear it the whole show.
The
It's
hilarious part about it is that we all three of us live in the South, and it's like 80
Yeah.
degrees where I live right now. So like, it does not feel like Christmas at all.
It was very warm here today. I didn't have to wear a jacket. Here's my question. I found these in a storage bin, a transparent storage bin in my garage. I drove the car in the garage the other day. I looked up and there it was. I saw them. They were right there. And so I climbed up the ladder and I pulled them down. And here's my question: is this, for those who are on audio? I'm wearing a Christmassy Yoda headband with a Santa hat. And here's the question: is it Yoda or Baby Yoda? I don't know when I got this.
Those are totally Yoda.
I'm thinking
I
that they're
don't know.
Baby Yoda because he's so over merchandised.
That's fair.
Maybe, but usually Baby Yoda stuff has like pink inside the ears, you know?
I don't know. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay,
I don't know
do
that
see.
much.
Yeah, Baby Yoda has the pink inside. I see. I've got a little Baby Yoda eating a frog Funko Pop right above my monitor, just right above the monitor. Well,
You know what
let
you
us
could
know
do
in
is
the.
just glue some hair coming out of it, and then it would be like for real,
Oh,
regular Yoda.
wow.
Just like ears.
Don't even
hair out
let
of the
me tell
ears.
you about the ear hair situation since I turned 30.
Oh, dude. Yes.
Oh,
And the nose.
I had none,
Yeah.
and now I've got plenty to share. We'll say that much. But that's more than you want to know. They're trapped. They're trapped inside the cans. You'll never have to deal with them. But I am very excited to get into tonight's episode. It's been a couple weeks since we have had a live show. We've got this week and the next week. Then we're going to take one more little break for the holidays. And I've missed y'all. I'm still missing Freddie. Freddie's not here. Freddie, man, that man flies a lot. I mean, he is always in transit somewhere.
I wonder
And
how many
so-
miles he has. Does he
Sh-
get to keep them?
All of
I have
them.
Probably
questions.
12 parsecs. That's how
At
many.
least.
So Freddie is not with us tonight. Missing Freddie. Happy holidays to Freddie. But we need him back next week for the Ruins of Dantooine because turns out it's a little bit related to Star Wars Galaxies. Freddie's favorite video game. And so
You know, I'm not gonna lie though. Like, having had our episode on Galaxies where he did his tour, helped me a lot to visualize like Naboo and stuff like that. Like, it was really cool. So I'm thankful that we had that.
I have a lot more to say about that. But we'll save it for next week.
Absolutely.
We even have some Star Wars Galaxies concept art. Wherever Freddie is, I can feel him drooling as soon as I said that.
Yummy.
He's jumping out of the plane. He's so excited, safely, after all. Anyway, I'm very excited to get into it. But first, let's reminisce. But first, before we reminisce, it is time for everybody's favorite segment, Thracken's Thrift Store. Do y'all have any new any merchandise to show off this week for our December Thracken's Thrift Store segment? I've got to tell you, I am on full lockdown with the spending. I'm not allowing myself to buy anything for myself except for the things I already pre-ordered that have shown up, and I forgot about them.
Yeah.
Including, got the art of the High Republic.
Ooh, yeah.
This is exciting. My Kristen Baver, she's lovely. I got to meet her in person at Star Wars Celebration. Shout out to Kristen Baver. She's a real one. And then this showed up 2 days ago. Star Wars, the High Republic, the Starlight Stories, the short story collection from Titan Publishing.
Nice.
And I am happy to report, and I was very worried about this, happy to report that it lines up exactly, I'm looking for my other copies, with the Star Wars Legends short story collections. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh,
Yeah.
They match the spines, the colors, and then the height is exactly the same. and that was keeping me up at night. So very excited. But I do have one other thing. My yearly Star Wars Christmas ornament. Emily, do you know about this? Were you on the show when we talked about this last?
I think I was actually. You do have a lot of collections. So this does not surprise me. Which one is it this year?
I have a Star Wars Christmas tree, and
Yes.
they used to be on the ornaments used to be on the regular tree. Till my wife
There's no
made
more
me-
room on here. Get your
made
own.
me put them on my own tree, which is great. I like it this way. And I get one new Star Wars Christmas ornament every year. This year, hello there. I got
that's
an
cool.
Obi-Wan Kenobi
I like that.
ornament. It was like a solid $8. All the other ornaments I was looking at were in the $100 to $200 range. And so we got this one, and it's great. And I like him just as much as the really cool ships that I wanted. Some of those Hallmark keepsake ornaments. Do you know about these?
They'll get you, yeah.
Some of those are expensive. The collectible market for those is high. I waited in line at Celebration with where's my soapbox? I waited in line at Celebration with Timothy and Emma. They were getting the what are those? The Bo-Katan Hallmark Christmas ornaments. They were Star Wars Celebration exclusives. I was running low on money. I'd spent a bunch at Celebration. And so even though I waited in line for a half hour, I passed. And I was like, nah, I don't need them. I'm just hanging out with my friends. They were like $24, something like that. Now, online, sucker's selling for like $200.
Always.
And I passed. I said, no thanks on $200.
Just think about it. You could have bought 2 of the ships you really wanted if you'd bought
Stop
one
it. No.
and sold it.
So I'm happy with my Obi-Wan, and his face looks totally exactly like Ewan McGregor. It really definitely does. Or kind of like Shaggy
Jesus.
from Scooby-Doo.
No, that's Jesus.
Jesus
Jesus
with
with
a
the lightsaber.
lightsaber.
Holy
season.
night.
Anyway, I'm happy to put him on the tree where he belongs. Rick, can we have the annual hanging of the ornament? Can I cut to my one for this?
Yeah, sure.
You get to be here, everybody, to celebrate. I think I'm going to stick him right below BB-8. What do y'all think?
Sure.
You know your tree, man. You know
How's
your
that
tree.
right there? All right, that's good
Beautiful.
enough.
Very cozy.
He kind of just bumped his knees into Luke's X-Wing, but it's fine. We'll fix it later. Who's up next?
I got a couple of things. Can't remember what I've shown recently. So I was at Game Exchange, I think. Game Exchange, yeah. And was there for my son was getting Pokemon cards, stuff like that. And just happened to look over at like the N64 games. I don't have an N64, but I was like, hey, those are good times. I actually never had an N64. I always had my friends that had them, and I had like OG PlayStation, OG Xbox. I even had an NES that I still have, but never had an N64.
I didn't get one till college.
Really?
Yeah, I always
And-
played Friends, just like you.
Yeah. And the game I happen to see is, well, there's 2 games next to each other. Pokemon Stadium and
Heck yeah.
007 GoldenEye. And I was like, adult money, gonna buy those. Got Pokemon Stadium.
Oh, yeah.
I got GoldenEye. And then I got a few other games. Let me just.
This is the most Rick thing ever, to buy a bunch of N64 games
Yeah.
and to not own an N64.
Listen, okay?
Wait, do
So-
you still not own one? This isn't leading to you owning one?
Shh, it's a story, Emily. So
Oh,
there's
no.
GoldenEye, and let's see. Of course, you got to have Ocarina of Time.
I'm playing that right now on the
Nice.
N64.
And then I found a deal for an N64, and the guy was like, "It's got some cosmetic damage, whatever." I buy it because it was okay. It's one of those, is it Mercury or Mercari, however you say it? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mercari, I think.
I sent the guy an offer, kind of lowball him when he was asking or whatever, and he accepted it like instantly. I'm still in Game Exchange when all this happens, so I just told Jessica, "Hey, I accidentally bought an N64," and Anyway, so it comes in, and I can't get it working, and I'm heartbroken.
No.
And I troubleshoot it.
Did you blow in the cartridge?
Oh yeah, I blew in the cartridge. I almost took it apart. Like it was turning on, got the red light, but it wasn't powering up on the screen. And anyway, I couldn't send it back because I missed the window to return it because I was troubleshooting it. It was also over Thanksgiving when this happened, so like it's stupid. And the guy was super helpful. Longer story short, I bought another N64 and it works. And so now I got parts for one, and it came with a bunch of other games, and I've bought some extra games, including Star Wars Episode 1 Eraser, which I have on the Switch.
Did you just say episode?
Episode.
Yes,
I sure
you did.
And
Sounds
then,
good.
Rick, did you know that you can play Episode 1 Racer on the N64 by plugging in 2 controllers, and then you can use the 2 joysticks
No!
You like in an actual pod racer. You turn them sideways.
That's cool.
Yeah,
That's
you use the 2
awesome.
joysticks.
I also got
That's legit.
Star Wars Rogue Squadron.
Freddie
And
loves that
then-
one. Shout out to Freddie.
Yeah, and Trevor does too. And then Shadows of the Empire, of course, to complete our Legends.
Wait, what game?
Star Wars Shadows of the Empire.
No, doesn't exist. No such thing.
So
I could not beat that friggin' game. I gave it up. I quit.
Oh man,
It defeated me. Boba Fett specifically killed me maybe 100 times.
goodness! I'm sure, dude. I have some other sport games in here that came with one of the bundles, but I'm excited about all those. I played Pokemon Stadium a
That's
bunch
fun, man.
so far, but I've not really. I've gotten the other ones working just to make sure they worked, but I haven't got to play around with them much yet. But yay!
That's fun. I have to say, my greatest skill in my entire life. Oh, I forgot I was wearing these. My greatest skill in my entire life is I am unbeatable in Pokemon Stadium minigames.
Oh, nice.
Unbeatable.
Nice.
I can harden my Magikarp unlike anybody has ever hardened their Magikarp.
Whew.
No, what is it? But Metapod.
Oh.
I'll take it back. I can flop my Magikarp,
Nope.
harden
Nope.
my Metapod, and I can lick the sushi says lick a tongue like you've never.
Stop, George.
I picked the 3 worst ones on accident.
Oh.
Those are all 3.
I could not have
What are- there's
planned
other
it
ones.
to be worse than what you just
I was
said.
just like thinking through the games and-
Jigglypuff.
Jigglypuff. So yeah, Clefairy does her little like the rhyming. Anyway, we'll play one of these days, Rick, and
Yeah,
I will
absolutely.
crush you
Oh,
into the
dude.
ground.
I don't doubt it. I'm enjoying beating my son, which is fun because he's 6 and I can do that.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and Jessica in the chat.
Yeah, she was summoned.
One of our viewers, Jessica Grace, shout out to Jessica. Jessica says somebody needs to tell him to slow down his purchases pre-Christmas.
Rick, slow down
And-
your purchases pre-Christmas.
Okay. David.
Oh
heard
my
that.
gosh.
Great. What?
Well, I don't have any recent acquisitions except the new arrival of the Pokemon Stadium theme song in my brain for the next week because that's all I've been hearing. Like from the second you brought it out, da 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 da.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man, so good. And seriously, that was the game I troubleshooted. I can never get it right. I'm terrible.
It's not that one.
Not that one. At troubleshooting, and I couldn't get the thing to work. And when it finally came on, I heard that music before the visuals came on,
Oh my gosh.
and it was like,
It's a good feeling. We've been doing it with our girls. We've been teaching them. We had a rainy day a couple weeks ago, and so we started playing Ocarina of Time, and it's a rite of passage, and it's one of the things my wife and I both share as a passion. We played all the 3D Zelda games. First few years we were married, and so we pretty close to the end, but stalled out a little bit when that new Pokemon game came out the other day. But we could talk about this all day. Apparently, let's move on to some of the fun Legendsy things that are releasing in the near future or the distant past. No, they were released in the distant past, and they're being re-released now. What do we have? Emily, lead us off in Legends Lookout.
Yes, we have the Legends Epic Collection, The Rebellion, Volume 5, released on November 29th of 2022.
That
Do y'all
was my
have it?
birthday. Not yet.
No, I've had to slow down my collecting It
You
pains
didn't
me to not.
pre-purchase this? You didn't pre-order it?
No, but I did pre-order 2 of the Starlight stories on accident, so I got to go see if Target will take one back tomorrow. That's a tomorrow problem. This one, I think it has like a really weird random assortment of comics. It's got like all the Splinter of the Mind's Eye adaptation
And the Rebellion?
Yeah, it's like right around the Empire
like a
Strikes
weird
Back
title.
time period.
Okay.
I did pre-order the omnibus that you're going to talk about in a second, though.
Oh, that's right. All right, so the next is the Legends Epic Collection, The Menace Revealed, Volume 3. Is this coming out in January?
Yeah, just a few weeks. So you use that Christmas money. Go on over to
Yeah.
youtini.com. Click that Amazon link in the profile. You know what I'm saying.
Yeah, January 18th of 2023. And then the very last one is Star Wars Legends, The New Republic Omnibus, Volume 1. And that is coming out just a week later on the 24th of January in 2023.
Yeah, that's the big whopping hardcover 1,000-page $100 monstrosity. This one's got like every single issue of the Rogue Squadron comic series among other things. So I've been loving those omnibuy. I'm very excited to get like a really good Legends collection of these.
Nice.
Yeah, and Jessica says, too bad Rick spent all his Christmas money already.
Wow.
Oh, rough.
Yeah, I feel that. And then just last week, another Marvel Epic Collection was announced. Just a couple days ago. This one's coming out in May 6th. And we have a glorious image of this one. Star Wars Epic, what is this? Marvel Epic Collection. The original Marvel Years, Volume 6. This one is collecting the 1977 run. Yeah, and Trevor's exact words were something about, look at that cover, and then like the puke face emoji. But you use whatever emoji you want, ladies and gentlemen. This one has issues 89 through 107, plus the very special issue 108 that just came out a few years ago. It's like a one last hoorah. So this one will round out the original Marvel years with 6 volumes. What else do we have? A new YouTube video came out. So I wrote a big guide. It's coming out soon on youtini.com, all about the history of the Sith in Star Wars Legends. This thing took a ton of research. It's got like Marka Ragnos and Ludo Kresh and Exar Kun and Revan and Malik and, all those. You got Crate and Kaidas. Anyway, the complete history of the Sith. It has now been launched on the YouTube channel, came out today. Nathan recorded the audio for that and put together all the images, and it was a ton of work, and the internet needs this. This is our contribution to the Star Wars world of the internet, and it's going to make the world a better place. Emily, you also have some Youtini-related... I got to take these things off. You also have some Youtini-related news.
I do.
Tell us what you're doing.
Yeah, so on Sunday, I recorded an episode of Star Wars Archives with Jose and Trevor, and it was an absolute blast. We did a very long, very special episode of my reaction to, drumroll please.
Whoa, wait.
No, that's not it.
No.
That's not it.
All right.
You don't have a drum
That was how
roll?
we
That's
felt
like-
at the end. We watched the holiday special, all of
No
it in
way.
real time.
I volunteered you for that.
You did, and I didn't quite realize how long it was. And fun fact, my husband was completely incapacitated with the stomach flu, so I was the only functional adult in the house, and it was recorded
And then
during
you were
nap
not
time.
functional after that, I promise you.
So it went from like it was an experience. There was no drinking because I was the only functional adult, and it was 2:00
no.
my
You
time
can't
on
watch
a
that
Sunday.
sober. You
Well,
can't watch that
You
sober.
can, and I proved it.
Oh,
I did discuss
no.
if Trevor and I, if we could have a drinking game with water, and like whoever pees first loses. But
That's so
he
great. I
didn't
can't wait
take
to
me
hear
up
that.
on that. But I'm hopeful that maybe one day I'll go back on the show. They're a blast. Oh my gosh, it was so much fun.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, definitely. I'm so excited to hear that. So if you want to hear that, go on over to patreon.com/YOUTINI, and that is going to launch this Saturday or Sunday, something like that. So very soon you can hear Emily watch the holiday special, and you can hear Itchy enjoy
Oh
all
my
the
gosh,
great things that he
I don't-
enjoys in the holiday special.
It's too
You
soon,
can hear
Jared.
Carrie Fisher singing,
Too soon.
and Rick, have you ever seen it?
Oh yeah.
Okay, good. Rick is he's fueled by the holiday special.
I love it, man. It's great.
It was something.
So move us on, Rick. What's our next segment here?
Let's see. Oh, okay. It's a nice little segment called We Need an Update on Race to the Finish, that little competition we're having.
I have bad news.
What's your bad news?
I haven't read anything since last month.
Me neither.
Oh.
Except for Ruins of Dantooine. I feel like that'll count when it's
Oh.
done.
It will.
But I'm behind, I think. I think you guys are ahead.
I've read 9. I want to get to double digits by the end of the year. I read like a good 100 pages of Darksaber today because I don't want to be last place.
You want to
I might
read Star
be.
Trek?
I don't. I won't. And
You will. You will. All right. So let's
so
go to
I'm
the
at 9.
let's go to the board.
Okay.
Hold on. Let me update this.
I am
real quick.
determined. I'm 3 books away from 300, and I want to finish my 300th Star Wars book by the end of the year. So with the contest, officially, I'm at 9.
Congratulations, you're in the lead. How many has Freddie read? Do we know?
He's similar. He
I
might
think
be
he's
at 8.
at 9. You know, y'all,
Okay.
y'all were tied, and then I was last. Which is like stark contrast to what I
But Freddie might be ahead in his defense.
Emily,
We're gonna
how many
do-
do you have?
I know it's less. I think probably 7 or 8. I don't know. I have to go back and recount. I don't know why I can't ever keep
Let's
it.
call it a 7 for tonight because I like being 2 books ahead.
All
Little
right.
margin.
That's right.
I have
No.
been reading a lot.
Oh
No.
no,
I
Rick.
Rick's gonna win.
am at a magical 2-digit number
No.
called 14.
What?
Yeah. So
Way to go, man! I'm proud of you.
Thank you. So Jared, I'm coming
proud
for
of
you,
you.
man. Emily,
All right,
you gotta beat him so that we can have him read Star Trek. The time is
I'm
done.
gonna definitely finish Darksaber, and then I'm reading the quest for the Hidden City, my canon book.
Woof.
Not really digging it.
What?
So
I've put canon on hold.
Oh, okay.
I'm
Yeah, I haven't
really
read a
digging it, so
canon book
I'm-
since like
I-
last year.
I'm stuck on it. I'm stalled out. Anyway, I need to read it, and I'm going to finish Darksaber, and then I need one more. I'm going to read one more by the end of the year, and that's going to put me at exactly 300 Star Wars books. I'm so excited.
Crazy, dude. That's awesome.
But yeah, I think that'll put my Legends total at 10 or 11, depending on what I get done. So I will tell you, I discovered a TV show that I'm binging the heck out of, and that has totally sidelined my race to the finish. Friday Night Lights. Y'all ever seen that?
Nah, no.
It's a Texas football show.
Yep.
And
I
I'll
live
say this
that,
much.
So I'm good. I'm good.
I'll say this much.
It's my
Clear
life.
eyes, full hearts, can't lose. There you go. That's all you need to know. Let's move on.
All right.
And congratulations, Rick. I'm proud of you, man.
I mean, it's not
All right.
over yet, is it?
I mean,
What? No. We have till December 31st
All right.
at 11:59 p.m. That is when the contest officially finishes, and then our first or second show of the new year. I sketched out our January calendar today. Our first or second show of the new year is going to be. We're going to recap the entire contest. We're going to get Tyler on. We're going to we're going to finish it out and talk about which books we loved, and then we're going to start the Star Trek book, and we'll gift some sort of present to first place, which is probably Rick. So Rick,
yeah,
let us know what
Rick,
you want.
Man,
like
really swooped
like a
in there.
Hey, you have
like
that
a reasonable request of like.
How about
you know,
that second Stories from Starlight Beacon copy that you have?
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Nope. It's still in the box. It's still in the box.
I was gonna buy it from you anyway, so
Perfect. I'll send it. I'll send it tomorrow. I got to mail our Christmas cards, so stick one of those in there.
and my Kenobi
All right.
poster.
Yeah, I'll totally find that again. Let's move on. Let's talk about the highlights of Legends Look Back in 2022. What a year it has been. Just pre-show, we were reflecting on all that we've been through, and we've cranked out a ton of episodes this year. We've been through a lot. I mean, I was in the middle of a move at the beginning of last year. At the first few weeks of the show, I didn't have a house. like the first week in January, I was living out of somebody's basement, and I didn't have a studio. And then I had to paint this room, and we put up the mural, and I had to build the shelves. There's so much that has happened since then, and now I'm about to totally restructure this. Jessica says all three of you have moved.
It's true.
Is that true? I'm self-absorbed in that way. Have you moved? You moved last year, Rick, right?
No, it was this year. I moved after you. We moved February, March-ish, kind of slowly, an hour away from where we did. I had a whole room, and now I'm in the corner of our living room, and my family's hiding in the bedroom.
They're in podcast jail. That's what you call it. Is podcast
jail.
And Emily, you moved.
Yes, I have. This is my second move on the show, but my only one this year so far. And then next year I'll be moving again. So,
Wow, it's.
I'm in one corner of one room to another corner of a different room in a different time zone. So
that'll be fun.
Yeah.
That'll be great. Wow. And this year we have read about a book a month. Let's see, what is our total? 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, I'm going to list off the names of the books. You've counted them, Emily?
I did.
We've read 10 books. Tell the good folks what we've read this year, Emily.
Oh, we've read Darth Bane, Rule of Two, and Dynasty of Evil. We read the Crimson Empire, Darth Vader and the Ghost Prison, Kenobi, the Han Solo trilogy, the Krytos Trap, Darth Maul, Shadowhunter, Light of the Jedi, and Ruins of Dantooine.
What if I told you that the Han Solo trilogy is 3 books?
It is 3 books. We only read the first one, Paradise Snare, right? Did we even?
I read
all 3.
I read both the Hutt Gambit and Rebel Dawn this year.
Same, yeah.
Because I remember listening to the Robot Overlords read it to me. I used like an artificial intelligence reader.
Yeah.
I listened to the Robot Overlords read it to me while playing basketball in the church gym in like last winter.
What a weird
Since I moved here.
memory.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. No, because I listened to a robot read to me that Hutt duel to the death at the end of the third one. I think it's the third one. And so like listening to it, there's a lot of Hutts. You don't know which one dies. I don't remember. So, but it was squishy. I'll say that much. Somebody gets squished.
Oh my gosh.
And it's not the one you think is going to get squished. Somebody else gets squished, and it is
Yikes.
horrific.
It is horrific. Now I just remembered who it was. Thanks for that.
Yeah.
So.
It's spoiler alert.
Gross.
5 seconds here. I'm going to say it. Ready? It's a baby. A baby Hutt gets squished. And that's the
What sound effect was that, Rick?
I think that was my cheek noise.
No, yeah, that
wasn't
was
Rick's fault.
was
That
Jared.
me.
Jared, do it again. That's good.
Was Rick.
I didn't hear anything.
Oh, come on.
Nope.
No, it was Rick.
No,
Gross.
it was Jared, and it was very wet and moist and.
It was.
Oh.
All right,
Do it
moving
again,
on.
but,
So let's talk about which of these was our favorite. Rule of Two, Dynasty of Evil, Crimson Empire, Darth Vader and the Ghost Prison, Kenobi, Han Solo trilogy. These are all A-list books in my opinion. Shadowhunter, Light of the Jedi, Ruins of Dantooine. Which one is your favorite? Which one surprised you? Just whatever you've got to say about the books. Let's keep it freeform.
Okay, I read Back to War, but that's not till next year we're talking about it, right?
That's going to be our January roundtable.
Okay,
That's right.
Right.
By the way, Emily, that's our January roundtable. Is the Back to War?
Thanks.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked the Krytos Trap personally. It really took me by surprise. I'd never heard of it, had no expectations going in. And I just thought it was just outrageous and like way out there, and I loved it. I also loved it. It was like a female villain, which I feel like I don't get a lot, and that was pretty delicious. I read the Bane books before. I read that trilogy a while back, and I enjoyed them. I enjoyed all of our roundtables. I think the Kenobi roundtable changed my mind the most about a book, but the Krytos Trap, because I'd read Kenobi before, and then the Krytos Trap I think was my favorite new book that we read.
What if I told you, Emily, that there's still time for the Ruins of Dantooine to be your favorite roundtable of the year?
It's better than I thought. I'm 20% of the way through. It's better than I thought it would be.
Yeah, that middle third is it's definitely in there. So we'll see if your opinion changes.
Okay, I'll
not.
just like skim.
But
just try to.
But the first third, it starts strong. It does.
It's I mean, it's great.
And it finishes strong.
Oh, this is totally a tangent.
Yeah.
I had an AI read it to me as well. But how you have the AI sound better is you give it a British accent. Highly recommend.
Oh, I gave mine like a how do I describe this accent in a politically correct way? I don't think I'm gonna say what kind of accent I gave it because I don't know how. But I gave mine like a
Where are you going with this?
an accent like kind of a street accent. It was like, so Han Solo said to his buddy Lando Calrissian, "Hey Han, what's up, buddy?" Anyway, so it makes it really fun. And like Durga says to the other hut, "Hey." Anyway, yeah. I really dug myself in deep on this. Yeah, it's hard to describe. it's hard to describe. It is, but it makes
You'll have
for
to
some
play
really
play a like a clip or something. Post it in Discord so we know what you're.
If you want to be safe, just go with the British dude that sounds like Alfred the Butler, and you're good.
I've done like 100 books that way. I had to move on.
I got you.
Yep. All right, this one is spice things up. That's for sure. All right, I'll give my pick. Dynasty of Evil Rule of 2. I've read about half of these before the year, so I'm going to eliminate those. They're good. They're great. I mean, they're some of the very best Star Wars books ever written. Kenobi. The Han Solo trilogy, I had not read Hutt Gambit and Rebel Dawn in their entirety. I had done the abridged audiobooks. I'd not read them, and they were fantastic. I mean, that Hutt stuff is good. The politics with the Hutts, and they try to poison each other with the Nalatree frogs, and it is fantastic. I mean, I'm ready to reread it all over again. The Battle of Nar Shaddaa, getting wrapped up with all of them. I mean, it's just great. I loved them. Emily, you gave yours. Rick, which one is your favorite?
So from this list, man, okay, I think I'd probably go with Krytos Trap as well, but I'll talk about Crimson Empire. That was probably the one that I'm surprised by the most.
Yeah.
It was just a really good story, really good characters, well developed, and I wanted more. You know, it was one of those stories that I was like, man, okay, I'm here. And so, yeah, I really enjoyed that. But I definitely am hoping that our Ruins of Dantooine roundtable will top them all, and it'll be the standout moment of the year. We'll see.
That's right. I'm going to get Claudia Gray to autograph mine because, after all, it is the Legends Lost Stars.
Hey,
Oh
you're
my
not entirely wrong.
How rude. Can you imagine walking up to Claudia Gray? Excuse me, will you sign this?
Hey, have you ever heard of Legends Look Back? We got an inside joke, and
Would you
No.
please?
I'm getting a phone call. Should I take it or?
is it Disney Lucasfilm Press or
It's not, but should
Tom
I
from
embarrass?
Del Rey?
Yeah. Tom.
I did get Claudia Gray's autograph at Celebration. I was not there. Andrew got it for me. Shout out to Andrew for being a real one. But yeah, we were some great books this year. Crimson Empire, it never gets old. I mean, I reread that thing all the time. I fell in love with that a couple years ago, and it's one of my go-to like comfort reads. It's just I love hanging out with Kier Kanos and slaughtering all those Imperials. All right, best moment in a book. Let's move on to the standout scene of the year.
Oof.
Emily, lead us off.
That's a good question. So the 5 choices that we have are.
I mean, these are some that I wrote down to reference. These are not the only choices.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't really had a chance to look at these very well. I was actually going to ask Rick because Rick always goes last.
That's fine with me.
Rick, do you have any question or any not questions? Oh my gosh, what was your favorite moment in a book?
Total teacher move. Rick, do you
I
have
know.
any questions?
I always have questions. Why? So I'll read your list here, Jared, because you got some good moments. Yeah, Skooma Joe.
He
says-
gives one in the chat. The Hut murder. We're not going to say what happens there.
The
Baby
hut
hut.
squishing.
I can't make the sound that Jared made. Okay. So best. Oh, there it was. There it was. Man. Okay. So Battle of Nar Shaddaa from Hut Gambit is a good one. Dueling Darth Maul on the back of a beast and the bowels of Coruscant from Shadowhunter. Hut Duel to the Death and Rebel Dawn. The Kenobi finale featuring Tuskens, Kenobi, Krayt Dragons, Orin Galt, or the Dynasty of Evil climactic duel. Man, those are some great moments for sure. And there's others that could be on there. The twisty twist at the end of Ruins of Dantooine.
Don't say that.
I won't say anything else. Let's see. The Crimson Empire has some good moments. For me though, you guys know I'm a space combat guy, and you might think I'd go with an X-Wing book, but since Backdoor is not on here, which has some really good space battles, I'm going to say the Battle of Nar Shaddaa from Hut Gambit was so good. I loved that space combat.
The world.
Yeah.
All these are coming from the one round table that I didn't read because I was in like the hospital with my son.
Oh,
well,
that
whose
was like-
fault
baby
is
this
that?
year. I mean, there's like another.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's more to add to this crazy year that we had.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anyway, I do have my moment though. It was in the Krytos trap, and it's the moment when you realize that they're on a Star Destroyer that is embedded in the crust of Coruscant, and like when he realizes that he needs to go down to get up, that blew my mind. And then like when it just like bursts out of Coruscant, that was like one of my favorite moments. What?
Super Star Destroyer.
I'm sorry, Super Star Destroyer.
Super.
This is all, it's like a foreign language to me. It's like sports terms and a lot of sports terms. I'm like, yeah, it's like the same. It's not. And I apologize. I was wrong. Super Star Destroyer.
Bigger.
Yeah. Yeah. Which makes it even more improbable and so Legends. It's like,
Yes.
it was delicious.
How do we make it bigger and better?
Exactly.
I was reading Darksaber today, and Admiral Dala herself said I would trade 20 Star Destroyers for a Super Star Destroyer. Yeah. She gets one in this book called the Night Fist, which is
what?
So Legends.
That's
yeah.
sick.
Mm-hmm.
Night Fist. That's really cool.
I think my favorite thing about Star Wars, next to Naked Palps, is Star Destroyer naming schemes. The Annihilation and the Executor. Yeah, that's right. I know. I love it.
My husband's gotten to name a couple of vehicles because when you're the commander of a tank, you get to like make a name for the tank. But usually it has to like start with the same letter. So it's been kind of fun to like brainstorm. Like, okay, I need a C name this time, or like I need an A name.
Rick, her husband names tanks.
That's pretty cool.
And
It is really cool.
You and I teach about the Bible.
Yep.
So
well, I have an AI do half the
that's
work,
just as
so.
cool for sure.
Yeah.
Just as cool. Absolutely, it is.
Yeah.
Naming
I have
tanks.
I have my little ships. I can name those. That counts, right? Yeah. It's the same.
Where's that? Wah, wah,
I didn't mean this to be
button?
like a weird flex. I was just like, oh yeah, like it is.
There it is.
All right, I'll shut up now. What was your favorite moment, Jared?
Well, I don't know. All of these are great. Except for these I'd read before the year. I really love Shadowhunter a lot, and there's quite a bit in there that I forget. And even though I've read it like 20 times, it's got twists and turns, and it to me is kind of like a mood more than a story. And when this time around, I was mountain biking, listening to the audiobook, and I was up on a ridge, like really high up, kind of scared. And I didn't really mean, like, you get on the trail and it's got a little sign and you're like, all right, let's do it. And it looks like it goes where I need to go. And then I'm like on this very narrow trail and there's just boom, straight drop off cliff. And I'm up on this, and in the middle of riding this pretty difficult technical trail over a cliff, Maul he finds out that the structure of the bridge or whatever he's on underneath the deep down into in Coruscant, that it's actually a monster, right? What's the monster called? I forget the name.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah. Anyway, it's a great moment. And
Townsend?
You're the Townsend.
Yeah, Townsend.
And then I get chills and my stomach drops like an elevator, and I think like, oh man, these rocks that I'm on, because I'm riding over really rocky terrain. I'm thinking, what if this comes to life? And I'm on a beast. Anyway, it really hit for me in a powerful way more than ever before, and so that's my moment. Maul, the duel on the Townsend in Coruscant.
It's a good moment.
That was legit. Yeah.
And then shortly after that, a vine got wrapped up in my cassette, and I went in town. I crashed, and I was lying on the trail in the gravel, trying to figure out how to get my bike rideable again. And I'm all bloody and scraped up, and the guy comes up behind me and he grinds to a halt and he hops off his bike and he says, "Oh, hey man, what happened here?" And I said, I took a fall. This vine got wrapped up in my chain, and I went down hard. And he gets down. I said, "I can't figure out what's wrong with my bike, but it's all messed up." And he gets down, and he sees my derailleur. It's like the back shifting mechanism. He says, "Oh man, I've never seen a derailleur that gnarly. You really trashed it." And
So is this guy like a hippie? Is he Canadian or Irish? I can't
Yeah.
tell which accent you're going with.
yeah, I'm going with Canada, A.
Okay.
I don't know if he was or not, but he had, he was like, your derailleur is really gnarly. And he pulls out his backpack and helps get some tools out, and he twists it into place. And he said he'd never seen one that messed up.
Oh man.
I felt so proud, and then I had to sling my bike over my shoulder and walk it out of the woods the rest of the way. The walk of shame is what we call it in the biking world.
You've seen heavyweights,
because
right?
it was unrideable. Yes, it was very much a heavyweights moment. Yeah, I was like in the spandex too, man. I was. So that's the picture I hope you all have in your mind.
It's
Me, bloody
plastered.
in spandex, carrying a bike on my shoulder like Ben, what is it, Affleck? What's that guy's name? Stiller.
Ben Stiller.
Yeah. Moving on. The best news reveal of the year. We don't get a ton of news in Legends,
Oh,
but we do have some things going on. Some fun
yes.
re-releases and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Rick, lead us off with the video games.
Sure. Before the video games, we also announced that we are going to be having the Legends Look Back musical coming next year. So,
I am planning something for the holidays.
ooh, dude, I almost broke out a song about 5 times in the past 5 minutes. So, we gotta do something. But yeah, some games that have come our way the past year. Limited Run has come out with their editions of a few. The KOTOR Limited Run with the VHS case, kind of thing. KOTOR 2 as well from Limited Run. The Force Unleashed had a limited run edition that came out.
We got the images of these. I think we got some images at least of the limited run stuff. I didn't pull the trigger on all of these. I've got a pretty good limited run Legends gaming collection, but I've got KOTOR 1 is shipping in a few weeks, so I'm excited about that. I've got the Master Edition. It was like $200, and so I'm excited for that. Yeah, so the Master Edition is coming out soon. There's that one. Yeah, for our audio listeners, we got the Master Edition here of KOTOR 2. I didn't, unfortunately, get this one ordered in time. But if it goes back up on sale, somebody tag me.
Yeah.
Sometimes they'll stick them back up for a brief time. I'd love to get it if possible. That's so cool. Yeah, the VHS of KOTOR, that one is still available, which is exciting. If you want a last-minute Christmas gift, it's playable on the Nintendo Switch. The Force Unleashed, there it is. This one's gorgeous. Man,
That's beautiful.
Man,
very fun.
I have too many
They
copies
are-
of these games already. I can't.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of those things. It's definitely not an essential. But look at the holocron.
That's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
Wait, it's got a book.
There's
That's-
a book.
That makes it a Legends book, right?
Yeah, and some art and other cool things. Man, that Star
Love it.
Destroyer. What is that? A victory class? I can't tell. Okay. Anyway.
That's the Star Destroyer that he pulls out of the sky with the Force, man.
Yeah. No, that's crazy. Okay.
Those are the video games. Emily, how about the action figures and whatever else is after that. I can't see. My notes are blocked.
Yeah, so we got droids action figures.
I don't remember if I uploaded an image of that or not, but they're very colorful. I've seen them on the shelves in the local store. They're beautiful.
And there's a New Republic omnibus announced to be released in September, collecting all the Dark Empire trilogy and the Thrawn trilogy. Did that come out ever, or is it still delayed?
That's next September.
To be released. Oh.
It's so epic that you've got to wait a year from the time it was announced.
Man.
Wow.
I think that's my pick, at least out of all the news reveals. That's the one thing. The fact that there is going to be on my shelf next September an adaptation of the Thrawn trilogy comic and Dark Empire in one volume on the shelf. Oh, man, I want it so bad.
All right.
Yeah, that is going to be good.
And then, of course, there were all the ELCs. Just all of them.
We've got a bunch of them. So this is the wave that came out in which this is the wrong wave.
Wave 4.
That's wave 4.
That's wave 4.
Can you find 3? All right, wave 3. Wave 3 came out in April. This one has Wedge's Gamble, Dynasty of Evil, Darth Plagueis, and
Kenobi.
I was hoping somebody would say Kenobi like Maul does. Kenobi. But nobody did. It's fine. All right, that's wave 3. Those are out. I've got them on the shelf. What else, Rick? Where's wave 4?
Wave 4. It features X-Wing, Krytos Trap, Darth Maul, Shadow Hunter, and Death Troopers, which I just read last week, and it was a very good Joe Schreiber book.
It's short, so that's a good thing going for it.
Yep.
I have not revisited that one this year. We talked about it, but it didn't win. It was beaten by Ruins of Dantooine.
Woo-hoo.
And that's what we're reading now. Okay, wave 5, Emily.
Yes, this is released in November. It includes the Old Republic Deceived, the Old Republic Revan, and X-Wing, the Bacta War. Very jewel tone wave.
Mm-hmm. If Santa's listening, these are on my wish list. And I still don't have them, and my shelves are sad. And Wave 6 was just announced the other day. We just released a YouTube video about it last week. These are not out yet. They're coming out in May. We've got Yoda Dark Rendezvous, Republic Commando Hard Contact, and Dawn of the Jedi Into the Void. This is the next wave coming our way.
Yeah.
So, a lot of fun Legends news. My pick out of all those, my favorite thing that was announced is the New Republic Omnibus. It's with Thrawn and Dark Empire. How about y'all? Which of these is the most exciting for you? That's a lot of Legends books to get re-released in 1 year.
It is, yeah.
I'm going to have to say getting X-Wing series audiobooks that came with these waves, unabridged audiobooks at least, that's completely changed how I read those stories, and I hope that they continue because Back to War was the last we got. So hopefully Wave 7 will have some continuing with Wraith Squadron, I guess.
I haven't given up on Wave 6, man. Don't give up hope, Rick.
They announced the wave. They're not going to add to a wave. That's not how a wave works. You got to get the next wave.
Listen, the day that the books release in May, they could say, surprise, we're also dropping unabridged audiobooks of Yoda Dark Rendezvous and Republic Commando Hard Contact, read by D. Bradley Baker. That's what I want.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
Wishful thinking. Emily.
Yeah, no, I think the audiobooks is a great point. I like that they're redoing pretty covers because I am a very visual person. I like things to look pretty. And Legends books, historically, a little bit less pretty than some of the canon stuff that's coming out. But they're changing that. I mean, Ruins of Dantooine, Exhibit A. Like, it is
no,
the
that's
ugliest
not Exhibit
book.
A. That's literally not Exhibit A. That's Exhibit F, all right?
Yeah, it's down the list a little bit.
It's pretty rough.
Sabayot's abs are Exhibit A. That Tom Young art on... Don't you pull out Rule of Two, Rick. Don't you do it. Hey, all right, Kenobi, that's Exhibit A. That's a great cover.
It's a good one.
They've got some... And most of them are great, and then there are some that are less great, and I just really enjoy having beautiful cover art, a book that I would be proud to show off in my home, because as you know, I don't have very many books, so I like them to be pretty.
That's a good point. I I've got a soft spot for the old artwork, and I'm defensive of them. It's
Well,
like
you had memories of that because
it's
that's
like
where
ugly
you
baby
started.
contest sort of
I
thing.
started
like,
off in like 2019. So
Yeah.
like it's a little bit different for me because I don't have much of the nostalgia factor about the books, about the original covers. But then now it kind of like validates the Essential Legends collection to me because I'm like, yeah, I love these books, but like if I
let's
gave
zhuzh
one
them
of
up a
them to
little
my
bit.
friend, yeah, like if I gave them to a friend, it's like, oh, you should read this. They'd probably like, okay, like, are you sure? But if I give them like
Good
the
point,
new
yeah.
cover, but no, I agree with Rick. I think that the audiobooks is the thing that would probably. I use audiobooks all the time. Like I'm always listening to one, so that would be. Whew, I would love that.
Couple more good picks all around. Couple more categories here before we wrap it up tonight. We've got the best worst idea this year in 2022 on Legends Look Back. The best worst idea that we had on the show. Here are the nominations.
Hold on. I'm offended by this. I think these are all great ideas.
I'm glad you think so.
Almost all of them were Jared's.
Hey, listen, if y'all have more ideas, feel free to throw them in. These are the random things I could come up with off the top of my head. All right, the hello there's at the top of the Kenobi show where we all had the hoods.
It was great.
Yeah,
there.
that was a good one.
Hello there.
What about a few weeks ago, Wookiee Week, where
Oh my
everybody
gosh.
started off the show with Wookiee speak?
Like the longest 8 seconds.
Right, yeah, it was
It was great.
not as long as the amount of Wookiee speak in Holiday Special, though. Am I right, Emily?
No, we're close.
Okay, we also did the best babies of the EU to celebrate the birth of Emily's child,
I don't remember that.
Darth Tumnus. So we did.
Remember Darth
We did, an
Tumnus?
Good one.
we did an entire show about babies in the EU.
Wow, okay. I don't
This
remember
was early last year.
Cool.
Yeah, the best babies of the EU. And then there's the time that Palpatine tried to steal one. And
Yeah.
I've got it
Yeah,
as
yeah.
I had him as my screensaver for months. Palpatine stealing a baby. All right. We did
Should
the
have
back to school
included the
bash.
Hut baby squished in
The-
there.
Yeah, the Hut baby. We've got the back to school bash. That was fun. Right about the time that school was starting up, we did the going back to school with Legends Look Back, all about Luke's Jedi Academy and that good stuff. We did an extended bit that Corey said, and I quote, "That was a really long bit, man." We did a bit about how the entire episode was going to be about Corin Horn. When
It was
Corey
a
was
pretty
on the
long
show
bit.
for our 100th episode, he was like, "Let's wrap it up." All right, Emily, tell us about the rest of the best worst ideas.
Well, we had the Monster Madness, where we just talked about monsters in Legends. Then there was that time we decided to give Rick a soundboard, which I think was awesome, personally. And then the cherry on top, picking Ruins of Dantooine as our final roundtable of 2022.
That was special.
What's your pick, Rick? What's the best worst idea of 2022?
Ooh. Like, are we saying it's best because it's the best idea or best because it's the worst idea?
You get to supply your own interpretation, and that is the fun part of it all.
Man. Okay. The best. I don't know. This is too hard, man. I would say.
mine.
Go ahead, Emily.
It's giving you a soundboard, man.
Yeah.
Like, that was like the best thing ever. Like
Woohoo.
value of listening went up. I thought it was great. Personally, I forgot that happened this year. Yeah, that's my favorite one.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think it's pretty cool. I like it.
Let's see, what was the worst one though?
Maybe the corn horn bit because we could have lost our jobs if Corey got angry.
Yeah.
But I think he been okay. So it's not like
Yeah.
we get paid anything. So
Great point. You have a point.
Jared, what's your pick?
I don't know. These were all my ideas, so I do. Except for Rick's soundboard, I think that was a lot. That's mostly him. Yeah, Ruins of Dantooine. That's gonna be a needle to thread. That's for sure.
Oof.
But I did enjoy it. I did
Yes.
genuinely. My impression was like, hey, I thought I was gonna hate it because it gets this reputation for being the worst Star Wars book, and I don't think it is. So there's
Yeah, I'm
that.
not
But
getting
the
that vibe at all.
the Shiriwook,
That was a
intro.
close second for me.
it was not as well executed as I
Y'all bailed on it, man.
imagined. I didn't commit
You didn't
as
commit.
much as I wish I had.
Yeah.
So
You gotta go big or go home.
I
Yeah,
thought my
it's a-
audio had cut out. I was supposed to cut into you guys and like say, okay, enough. But I didn't really hear anything. And I was like, we can't just have like us sitting here silently. So I
Right.
had to like cut in.
Listen, the holiday special
does-
did it for like 15 minutes before there was any human dialogue. So
it's a
let's
live
go 30
show. I mean, you
seconds.
never know what you're gonna get. That is for
That's
sure.
true.
So let's go ahead and roll the next two categories into one. A standout moment from the show for the year. It could be a funny moment. It can be a monumental moment for a different reason. What is something for you that really stands out as a high point on Legends Look Back in 2022?
I think there was that one time that my baby woke up in the middle of the show, and but like I had to go get him, and y'all didn't know what was happening, and so you cut to me like Jared was telling me this like the story that I couldn't hear it, and then you cut to me and like I'm just standing there with a baby and like deer in headlights. That was this year in a nutshell. Like I'm on the
Yeah.
spot and I'm caught and I have no idea how to respond.
I've got to
that was
find
a
that
good
clip.
one.
That's great. There was the time that Rick freaked me out about how he thought he saw something behind me on the show. And
That was like a month
every
ago.
time
Go.
the entire time that I watch like my little square now, I'm always looking behind me just to like make sure there's nothing standing over my shoulder. And so you really freaked me out with that one. So thank you.
Nice. My favorite memory or point of the show this year was that interview with John Jackson Miller. I wasn't here for the first
man.
one, so it was the first time I got to be in a conversation with him, and he was great to talk with, getting some insight on Kenobi and some of the other stories he's written, including some Star Trek stories. So there was that too, and so yeah, that was great, man. But lots of good memories this year. And we lost
Jared's
Jared.
gone.
I
I'll
guess
tell you what, another highlight of the
the
year for me then.
shadows have taken
Since
him.
he's-
He said Star Trek, and I was
Oh.
done.
Oh, you left. I
No,
thought you were
what if I
having
told you-
technical difficulties.
What if I told you, Rick, that we are in talks with a few other people? Should I call them celebrities? Or should I call them... They're not all authors, but they are all key influential figures in Star Wars Legends. So we
They have
are...
well-known
We are having-
voices, perhaps.
We are having some behind the scenes conversation, trying to get some episodes mapped out for the new year. So
Legit. I had
so we'll
to
see.
miss the
Yeah.
interview because there was a power outage unexpectedly, and it just killed me.
Hmm.
So I still haven't. They don't let me out in public. I'm like, don't let her talk to anybody outside of the core group. No, but another funniest moment I just thought of, or like all of Jared's weird accidental innuendos lately. We're just like he'll just say stuff.
once again, it's a live show. You never know what's going to happen.
It's the best because it's really he's so not trying, and but it just keeps
Like
happening.
the Magikarp from earlier. Oh my gosh.
Floppy
was like
Magikarp
3
and a
in a
hardened
row.
Metapod. And
These are real things. I'm not making it
No,
up.
you're
They're
not.
actually in the game. And they just so happen to be strung together in the worst possible way. All right. I think my highlight of the show for the year was something that had happened off air, and that was getting to physically, in the flesh, meet Rick. And nope, I've met Rick before.
Oh,
Sorry, Rick.
wow.
I got to meet Emily and Freddie in person, and it was,
That was so cool.
surreal. Absolutely unbelievable. Highlight of my possibly my life. Getting
was
to
awesome.
Star Wars Celebration with the YOUTINI team and getting to hang out with Freddie. We just picked up, like, as soon as he walked in the door to his own house that I was already at before him. That's what happened. We just picked up like right where we left off. Wait, hold on. What
Wait.
did I just see there? Rick's
Force
photoshopping
ghost.
him. Rick is photoshopping himself into this photo of Emily Tumnus,
I was
Freddie, and
I was
myself.
totally there, guys. You didn't see me.
That's
I was
a really
I was in
good
costume.
job. You look like you actually were there. If you played with the lighting a little bit, that would be
He's-
very believable.
Yeah, if you
Yeah.
were looking at the camera.
If you go back
Anyway.
and watch the first few minutes of the show, and I was on my phone, that's what I was doing. So
That's fantastic.
Perfect.
It was so great getting to be with you all in person, and I hope we get the chance to do that more in the future. I'm gonna start crying. It seriously was. It meant the world to me. Because what we do, we check in with each other every week, but it becomes more than just we make a show together. It feels like a special kind of friendship, different than other friendships in a different way. It's hard to explain.
Yeah.
But I'm about to start crying. Rick, it's time for the show to end. But first, tell the good folks about the roundtable next week.
yes, next week we have the infamous Ruins of Dantooine roundtable. We've been reading it, and it's really good. It's better than you think. So
I'd
give
like
it
to
a chance.
propose an idea.
What's your idea?
And I've been on the fence about if we can make this a real contest or not. But I just think it's going to be fun. So let's do it. I want to propose, and y'all can help me come up with the parameters for the contest right here live on the show. It's a live show, in case you didn't know.
Okay, it is live.
I would like to propose a Ruins of Dantooine cover art contest. I would like for our fans, our listeners, the YOUTINI community to create their own their own cover art for the Ruins of Dantooine. You might even need to wait until after the show next week to hear a little bit more about what the book is about. If you haven't read it yet, you've still got
you
time.
don't need to have it connected at all to the story. It's fine. Just
Well, this
There's
isn't.
something
It's
on there.
just a grassy field with a couple of PlayStation stormtroopers.
and some walkers.
Anyway.
Yeah. Okay.
I'd like to propose a Ruins of Dantooine cover art contest. This is unofficial. Let me be very clear. This is not in association with Del Rey. It is just for fun because we love this stuff. If you could redesign the cover to Ruins of Dantooine, what would you put on the cover? And let's say what should be the winner of the contest. We gotta give them something fun. Something fun.
All right.
We'll have to figure that one
Are
out.
we collecting artwork or are we collecting ideas?
Yeah, artwork.
I mean, it has to be artwork.
If all you have are ideas, that's fine. We'll task somebody else with making the artwork, but I'd like to see some art, and the art can end up on the show.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. What if we could do a piece of YOUTINI merchandise from the YOUTINI store?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's it. There we go. You can choose one piece of YOUTINI merchandise from the store of your choosing. We should probably make it U.S. only. How much is international shipping?
I mean,
U.S. only, unless we can say otherwise next week.
Canada's not too bad. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, so that's what we'd like to see. And if it's good enough, it'll end up on the show. And if it's bad enough, it'll end up on the show.
You better believe it will.
So excited to see what you can put together. I needed to get Freddie on it to take some screen caps from
Some better ones.
Star Wars Galaxies. Yeah, for sure. So that is going to do it for this week. Thank you for joining us for Legends Look Back. Can't wait to see your artwork next week and to talk about Ruins of Dantooine, which is, hot take, not the worst Star Wars book ever written. What a compliment there. Thanks to our incredible patrons for your support. A special thank you to our Jedi High Council, Brian Dooley, Earl Q, Patrick Ortiz, and Carl Sander, as well as our Alliance High Command, Ashley Ingalls, Elizabeth Cloutier, Sally, and Chris Eilerson. Remember to sub to the channel. Leave us a review in your podcast platform of choice. And, of course, if you'd like your thoughts read on the show or your artwork displayed on the show, our information can be found in the description below. We're on Twitter at Legends Look Back. Remember, everybody, to keep the YOUTINI fan code and be a force for positivity in the fandom. May the force be with you.
This is a YOUTINI broadcast.